anniversary of the Superdome in New Orleans, the home of the Saints, as captured by Leroy Neiman. But the festive atmosphere of this city has never been matched by the record of the team. For years, the quarterback was Archie Manning. Now it's Dave Wilson. And the Saints were marching with their heads held high as they upset the defending Super Bowl champions, the San Francisco 49ers. Their coach is the ever-colorful O.A. Bum Phillips. He is somewhat unique, but he gets the job done. In New York, it was a reflective and vindictive Lawrence Taylor who led the Giants to their win over the Redskins. With 11 tackles and 2 sacks, LT is back. And he has some heavy help. Number 70, Leonard Marshall, leads the NFL in sacks with 11.5. On offense, Phil Simms continues to excel. And his tight end, Mark Bavaro, continues to improve. The two connected for this touchdown against the Redskins last week. Bill Parcells had reason to smile. Today, it's the Giants and the Saints. It's a must-win for both teams because, as Parcells says, it's not September anymore. We're live from the Superdome in New Orleans, as they say, Louisiana. A late arriving crowd because the weather is quite severe outside. Temperature of 68 degrees, humidity 87%, but down at the bottom is the important factor. Hurricane warning. Hurricane Juan is supposed to hit this area almost momentarily. Winds are 33 miles an hour, but they should get a lot stronger than that. But we're inside the Superdome, where the temperature is always 68, and weather is never a problem, except for getting here. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall, with, of course, John Madden. John and I had a chance to visit yesterday with both Bill Parcells of the 4-3 Giants and Bum Phillips of the 3-4 Saints. Give us an insight, John, if you will, about the strategy as we approach the game.
Well, you know, the first thing, as Bill Parcells was saying, the thing that we have to do is be able to get a win here in New Orleans. The Giants have never won a game here, and Bum Phillips wants to give them a little difficulty in doing that. What they're going to do, you know, Phil Simms is a hot quarterback at this time, and most teams on defense, what they do is they take away the deep passes and let you have that short stuff. Now, what the Saints are going to do to Simms is they're going to take away the short stuff, make him go deep. Now, what that does to a quarterback, it takes away the security blanket. You know, where he goes back to and says, well, if I don't have anything deep, if my pass protection breaks down, I can always dump it short. The Saints are saying, no, you can't dump it short against us today. Now, of course, the big thing that Bum Phillips is worrying about on offense is his quarterback. Dave Wilson has a bad shoulder, couldn't throw at all in practice yesterday. Now, they said that they're going to see in the pregame warm-up, we have a shot at Dave Wilson warming up here. He looked okay. He was trying to get it loose, and it looked like towards the end of the pregame that he was throwing pretty well. So I'm sure he'll start.
Well, we'll have a chance to find out pretty quickly because the Saints have won the toss. The Giants' Jess Atkinson will kick off in the direction of Willie Tullis, and Carl Roaches back deep for the New Orleans Saints. Atkinson apparently has won the place-kicking job for the Giants. 83 is Carl Roaches. Willie Tullis, number 26, back there with him. With a lower tee, trying to get the ball deeper. Doesn't quite work out that way as Roaches takes it at the 3. Roaches outside the 20 to about the 24, taken down by Larry Flowers. And it will be Dave Wilson at quarterback, it would appear. Earl Campbell and Wayne Wilson, two big, strong running backs behind him. Lindsey Scott and Eric Martin, the wide receivers. Up front, LaFari, Perot, Joel Hilgenberg, Ralph Williams, Stan Brock, and Hobie Brenner, the tight end, their leading receiver. We'll get to the Giant defense in just a minute. 1st and 10 for the Saints at their own 24. Wayne Wilson is the lone setback. Eric Martin swings in motion. Wilson, that's Dave Wilson, through the hands of Lindsey Scott. It was hit by another man before it got there. I think Hobie Brenner got up his hands and deflected it away. Terry Kennard, the defender. 3-man front for the Giants. Curtis McGriff, Jim Burt, the nose, and Leonard Marshall, the NFL's leading sacker. Hunt, Reasons, Carson, and Taylor, the linebackers. The secondary, Elvis Patterson and Perry Williams on the corners. Kenny Hill and Terry Kennard, who's really playing well, are the safety men. 2nd and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Tyrone Anthony has come into the backfield and now set out wide to the left. Handoff Wilson. He's got some room. Wilson down the sideline. Wilson in Giant territory. Out of bounds at the Giant 45 by Perry Williams. A run of 31 yards and a Saint first down.
What they're doing here in this play was a 2nd and long, and the Saints are showing a pass formation to get the Giants on the rush, get that rush up the field, and then they just hand on a draw to Wayne Wilson. He gets through that front line. Now the secondary is back covering in pass defense, and Wilson is able to get about 30 yards before they get straightened out.
7-year pro from Shepherd University. Wilson is the lone setback. First down, the Giant 45. Another draw play. Again, it's Wilson. He hammers inside the Giant 40 before Curtis McGriff, number 76, can get him down with an assist from Lawrence Taylor.
The interesting thing about that, Pat, is they're going to their left or the Giants' right, and that's the side of the Giants' big pass rush. Leonard Marshall, of course, leading the NFL in sacks, but I think they want to calm him down early. And Lawrence Taylor right next to him. Get those guys pass rush, get them under control, make them stay on the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you can get too concerned about the sack. 2nd down and 4. Wilson back to throw. To Wilson. To Wayne Wilson. Fumble? Yes, it is. The Giants have it. Jim Burt, I believe, made the recovery. Wilson is really upset, saying, I never had possession. It should be an incompleted pass.
Of course, the thing he has to do is catch the ball and come down with both feet on the ground and the ball under control.
Bob Frederick is today's referee, and they're having a meeting right now. Frederick, of course, is the man in the black hat, which I've never been able to figure out. There's enough heat on the referee anyway without having him wear a black hat.
Well, it has white stripes on it.
That's
but
true.
what they're doing, it looked like one official is saying that it was a catch. Now, I don't know. That one looked like he had control.
It has been ruled,
but the officials are changing.
Pass.
One official talked the other official out of it. Now, I don't know about this one because both feet are on the ground. Now, he has to catch the ball and be in position to make a move with it. I think he has control of it. I do. To me, that's a fumble. He had that long enough. Now, of course, one official said it was. Another official said that it wasn't, and they went with the official that said it wasn't.
3rd and 4. It was Gary Reasons who hit Wilson. Dave Wilson, the quarterback. Wanted to throw short. They do. Flags come down. Guido Merkins, or Guido Merkins, I think he pronounces it. On the completion, tackled by Elvis Patterson, but a penalty marker down. Against the Giants, it'll be a Saint first down no matter what decision they make.
Defensive holding, number 34, and the penalty will be declined. It will be a first down as a result of the play.
10-yard gain. Elvis Patterson is the man who stopped Merkins. Bill Parcells, always concerned about strange teams, and I don't mean the Saints are strange, but they just don't play each other very often.
And the Giants don't do as well against teams that they don't play as much, they don't know as well.
Here's Wilson with that ever-familiar counter play. He hammers down to about the 23 before Harry Carson brings him down. Terry Kennard on the stop. While we have a second, a couple of quick final scores. The Redskins beat Cleveland 14-7. Philadelphia over Buffalo 21-17. They're right back in it, aren't they? Those Eagles are tough. Detroit beat Miami. That's an upset. 31-21. That's the final. Denver 30-10 over Kansas City. That's the final. Second down and 4. Quick to Lindsey Scott. Maybe not enough for a first down.
the type of passing the Saints want to do today, is get rid of the ball quicker. That time Lawrence Taylor came from the outside, but Wilson got rid of the ball, got it out to Lindsey Scott before Taylor could get there. That's what Bum Phillips was saying. We can't hold the ball. He said, we're going to take a 5-step drop, and then when we get back at 5-step, get rid of it right now. That was a 3-step drop. But you see Taylor there? The big thing, he said, Taylor's going to get there. We just want to get rid of the ball before he does.
That was a situation he said we won't see much of. He had a back blocking Taylor. He doesn't want to do that. Earl Campbell into the game as the lone setback. Campbell over the right side. That should be enough for another Saints first down. Kenny Hill came up to make the stop.
Tell you one thing the Saints have done, Pat, here on this opening drive, they've had great mixture of plays, and they really have kept this Giant defense off balance. This would hurt there. That's Hobie Brenner. He's a leading receiver on this team. They're starting tight end.
And they play, that could really hurt. They play a lot of 3 and 2 tight end setups. Larry Hardy has taken his place. Wilson is now the lone setback, and they give to Wilson to the right, to the 15. Gary Reason's on the stop.
We talk about that counter play. Remember, the Redskins started that play a couple of years ago. Now everyone has it. Not only has it in their offense, but has it as a big part of their running game.
All the way down to the Pop Warner leagues, they run that thing. 2nd and 7. Wilson got 3. Wayne. He has 4 carries for 46 yards. And he again is the lone setback. Giants showing blitz. Wilson thinks they're coming. Short drop. Incomplete. Eric Martin, the intended receiver. And Elvis Patterson with great position played that extremely well. New England beat Tampa Bay 32-14. The Buccaneers still without a victory. They led early, and they'll be in New York at Giant Stadium next week, and so will John Madden and I. 3rd and 7. 3rd down conversions. The Giants have been excellent. The Saints have been average. 3rd and 7. The ball's at the Giant 15. Vito Merkins is one of the wide receivers. He's the move man. Wilson out of the spread formation, gets rid of it. His intended receiver, Hardy, fell down, and Wilson didn't make the necessary adjustment.
I tell you, I think the Giants were lucky that Hardy fell down because they didn't have a defender on him. Terry Kennard blitzed on the play, and we'll see it. Kennard will come from the right of the screen. Hardy is to the right of the screen. You see Kennard out there? Now watch when you see Hardy. When they throw the ball out there, there's no defender in that picture. So not only, if he throws and completes that ball, that's a touchdown.
If Hardy doesn't fall down, they're kicking an extra point instead of a 33-yard field goal, which is good, by Morton Anderson, his 7th in a row. The New Orleans Saints take the lead over the Giants 3-0 with 10:21 left in the first quarter. Kept the ball a long time, which is what they want to do. The short passing game, the running game. The Giant offense then. Phil Simms, of course, will be the quarterback. Joe Morris and Maurice Carthon starting as the running backs. Carthon in place of Rob Carpenter, Bobby Johnson, and the red-hot Lionel Manuel, the wide receivers. Benson Ard, Oates, Godfrey Nelson, and the tight end is Mark Bavaro. That's the way they'll start. As far as we know, there is nothing physically wrong with Rob Carpenter. It's just that Carthon is going to start in his place. George Adams is number 33 for the Giants, back deep in the center to return the kickoff.
I think 2 things. I think one, the Giants want to get some running and some sweeping. That means Joe Morris running, and Carthon is the better blocker.
In fact, he is a devastating blocker. Jumbo, the Saints mascot, watching the kickoff, which is a line shot by Anderson. Nobody will return this one. Into and out of the end zone. If you're wondering about why that end zone is painted in that particular fashion, the Tulane also uses this as their home stadium. Tulane University, of course, located here in New Orleans. So they share the stadium with the Saints. First and 10 Giants from their own 20. Saints leading 3-0. 10:15 left to play in the first quarter. Joe Morris and Maurice Carton are the running backs. And it's Morris. Well, Morris hammers for about 8 or 9 or maybe 10. Dave Waymer made the stop. Here's the Saint defense. Bruce Clark, Tony Elliott, and Jim Wilkes. The linebackers, Ricky Jackson, who spent the night in the hospital. There was some question about whether he'd be able to play. Lynn Red, Jack Del Rio, and Whitney Paul. And in the secondary, the cornerbacks are Waymer and Johnny Poe. The safeties, Terry Hogue and Frank Wadlett. There's Carpenter, 2nd and 1. Good time to throw. Intended for Lionel Manuel. Good coverage by the Saints. They said they're going to play zone most of the day.
Well, they do, and I think that the Giants did what they wanted to do on that first down play. They want to be able to sweep to get Joe Morris to the outside, so they started out, they had good success, created that 2nd and short situation.
Now it's 3rd and short. And now you get the first down. And Maurice Carton is back in place of Carpenter. Morris gets the carry and gets the Giant first down. Saints leading at 3-0. Glenn Red on the bottom of the pile for New Orleans.
You know, it's funny how a guy like Joe Morris is a short yardage guy, but it really doesn't have to be a big guy to be short yardage and goal line. It has to be a guy with a good feel to get in that pile, all those bodies in there, and find a soft spot in there to pick up a first. And Joe Morris has that.
He got the first down. And now Sims is going to work throwing. Got Morris. That'll be a gain of about 4. Whitney Paul was the linebacker there with him.
You know, it's interesting. That's the one that they wanted to take away, that Bum Phillips said, that one right there. Take away that short passing. That passing to Morris or Carpenter or Bavaro. Make him go deep. Of course, they gave him that short one there on this first series.
Bum Phillips knows football and knows horses. And has a lot of good one-liners. Morris to the outside behind Billy Ard. Morris cut down by Terry Hogue.
You know, one good thing about what the Giants are doing here is they're making this Saint defense play the whole width of the field. You know, and you want to stretch a defense. You want to stretch it from sideline to sideline and from goal line to goal line. Make them defend the whole field. Eventually, the Saints will do that. Then they'll be able to pop some things inside.
1st and 10 Giants from their own 42. Morris and Carpenter behind Sims, and they give again to Morris. Here it's over the left side. Stopped after a gain of 3 or 4 by Jack Del Rio. A young man from your part of the country.
Well, he is. He's from Castro Valley, California, and you know, he was a great player at USC. Everyone thought, all the neighborhood thought he'd be a #1 draft choice, and he wasn't taken until the 3rd round. I did some checking, and the only negative thing on him is some people thought he didn't have enough speed. I'll tell you, he can get there, and when he does, he'll give you a stick.
Sims back to throw. Gets it outside, intended for Morris. And the target was too low, and the pass was too high.
And that was Jack Del Rio that was guarding Joe Morris on that play. You know, that's the type of thing you always want to get as a back on a linebacker, and a linebacker that supposedly can't run, but Del Rio did the job then. They call him Del Rambo. His nickname, right. Del Rambo.
3rd down and 7 to go. Giants operating from their own 45. Sims out of the split formation. Adams up on the flank to the right, and he comes out as a receiver. Sims looking left. Ball is deflected. Tony Galbraith was the intended receiver. But one of the Saints got a big hand up, then knocked it down. NFC in punting with an average of 45.8, and he was really bombing it before the game.
They have to love this indoor deal, huh, these punters.
Yeah. And the field goal kicker. Pretty good kick. Roaches signals for a fair catch at the 7. Elvis Patterson was the Giant who jumped over his head. 48-yard punt, no return, and the Saints have the ball deep in their own territory. Those of you who've been watching the Chicago Bears remain undefeated as they beat the Vikings 27-9. Welcome to the Superdome in New Orleans, where the Saints lead the Giants 3-0. Weather is good inside, but outside, hurricane warnings. Hurricane 1 is fast approaching.
I wish I had a hole in this thing so you could just take a peek out, just see what's going on outside. You know, see some clouds or some stuff coming at you.
John Tice was the man in motion, and that's Wilson. He might have gotten a yard on that scramble before Terry Kennard was up to make the first hit. Indianapolis overwhelmed the Packers 37-10 final score. And the Jets finally beat Seattle 17-14, their first victory ever over Seattle. 2nd and 9 here at the Superdome, with the Saints leading 3-0. Eric Martin split out wide to the left. Lindsey Scott to the left. Martin is out to the right. Wilson goes back and goes deep, intended for Buster Hardy. Larry Hardy. Incomplete. More scores. Houston leads St. Louis. The Cardinals having all kind of problems. 20-10 that one. Dallas in the fourth quarter over Atlanta 24-10. And Cincinnati in the first quarter leading Pittsburgh 3-0. 49ers over the Rams 7-0. 3rd and 9. Wilson is 2 out of 7 so far. Giants not showing blitz this time, but they did go with a 4-man front. Casey Merrill and Marshall chasing. Wilson put the juke on Lawrence Taylor, but he didn't take the full juke. Made the tackle in the open field.
Hey, what he did is they didn't get a first down. The Saints are going to have to punt. It was going to be a bootleg. Wilson was going to bootleg out here to the left. He starts out and he sees he can't get to the outside. Now he's going to turn. He gets back in the end zone. He saved himself a safety by getting rid of this ball, and he got it out to the 10-yard line or 12-yard line and gave his punters some room to punt it. So that was a pretty big play.
Brian Hansen was another good punter. Back for the Saints. Stay up there a long time. McConkey signals fair catch. Makes it at the Giant 43. Up there 4.7. Penalty flag is down. That's a 44-yard kick. Hansen looking, seeing what Bob Frederick is going to say about what the violation might be.
It's going to be against the Saints. I would imagine that the Giants will take the ball there, though. That's pretty good field position.
Holding number 34 on the kick return team.
That was against the Giants.
Right.
So I imagine the Saints will take it and put him back there.
While the punt was in the air, the violation occurred, so it'll be tacked on and chase the Giants back to their own 32-yard line. In the event you joined us late, Ricky Jackson, the Saints linebacker, spent the night in the hospital, got sick last night. There's some question about whether or not he'd be able to play today, but so far he has been performing. 3-0, the Saints lead the Giants.
Do you know me? I have one of the best-known names in China.
But still, here in Peking, a lot of people don't recognize me. So I always carry the American Express card. With this, I can get great service for myself, or even service for 12.
To apply for the card, look for an application and take one.
The American Express card.
This
is Cicely Tyson speaking for the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF. When you support UNICEF, you can light up a face as easily as this. On Halloween, when youngsters ring your doorbell and gleefully shout trick or treat, open your door and your heart to them and let these children have a new lease on life. Do that. Open your door to trick or treat and treat a little someone to the gift of life.
New York, a city pushed to the edge. And now, Bronson's back.
What's the problem? Now you're gonna die.
Death Wish 3. In a world gone mad, there is only one law. His. Bronson back in New York, bringing justice to the streets. Charles Bronson. Death Wish 3. Rated R. Starts Friday, November 1st at a theater near you.
The Saints lead the Giants 3-0, 5:14 left in the first quarter. That's the final, and welcome to those of you who watched the Cowboys improve their record to 6-2 with that victory over Atlanta. That's tight end Hobie Brenner of the Saints, who has a sprained ankle, which they're working on right now, and he should be able to return. The Giants have the ball at their own 33. 5:14 left first quarter. Simmons back to throw. Looking left, throwing left. Hitting Bobby Johnson. Gain of about 9.
That was one thing that, that the Saints are trying to take away is what Sims did there. You know, we saw Phil Simms go back, look deep, couldn't find anything, and then come off to a short man, Bobby Johnson. Now, they wanted to take that away and make him throw to the deep guy when there wasn't anyone open.
Here is that 2nd and 1 situation. Before Sims threw on this down. He has Carpenter and Morris behind him. He gives to Morris. Morris hammers for the first down. Jack Del Rio was the first Saint to hit him. But they'll move the sticks as he gets outside the 45.
That's what Bum Phillips said yesterday. He said, that kid has a good light in his eye.
And he does.
Good light. That's what you look for, linebackers. Good lights in their eyes. How are your lights today? Good. Good light in my eye today.
Emmanuel. Another first down Giants. Johnny Poe was chasing him. 14-yard gain as Sims had a lot of time.
They did a good job of pass protection. Bart Oates, the center, did a good job on Tony Elliott, the nose tackle. Now Sims can look, find the guy, and he can step up and throw the ball. Watch here. Here's Bart Oates there. Of course, he has help from Billy Ard, but you can't let that nose tackle get penetration.
Joe Morris still on his feet inside the St. 30 to about the 27. Ricky Jackson finally made the stop, but Morris got 13 yards and another Giant first down.
You know, last week, Joe Morris, in fact, he's just taking himself out now. You see that little wave of the left hand. That means put someone else in. I don't know that anyone saw it, though, because he's still in the huddle.
Parcells didn't get the message.
No. Joe Morris had a concussion last week. Wanted to get back in the game. They had to hide his helmet.
Now he wants out. We'll have another chance with the football. And he gets down to the 20. Johnny Poe on the stop, and here comes George Adams in place of Joe Morris.
And you know why Bill Parcells didn't take out Joe Morris to play before is he had that sweep call, and he wanted to get one more sweep in there. He said, no, I'll take you out after this play. Joe Morris is trying to get some air in there. Man, there's no air because that stuff down there in the ground, that's artificial turf. You know, on grass, you can get down there, you can get some of that oxygen coming off the grass. That plastic stuff doesn't give you any oxygen.
Second down. This is Adams straight ahead. It looks like he'll have another Giant first down before Ricky Jackson can get him down to that artificial turf.
Tell you one thing, as we watch Phil Simms, we watch him on film, we watch him in the game, I get more and more impressed with him and his toughness, because he just stands in there, hangs in there, guys hitting him, beating him, and doing all that stuff. Each week I have more and more respect for Phil Simms.
I stand with you and agree with you. He is one tough quarterback. He gives to Adams. Adams around the corner. Inside the 5, out of bounds at about the 2. Dave Waymer knocked him out of bounds.
George Adams did one thing. He makes a little dip in here. Watch him as he starts across. Now right there, he makes a little dip. Now that holds the defense. Then he could bounce it to the outside and get up the outside, up the sideline. That little dip in there held the defense and allowed him to get outside.
And set up a great block by Billy Ard out in front of him.
What you have to do when you're back, you have to wait a little sometimes, hold up a little to get that guard out there.
Morris is back, and that's Maurice Cotton. Fumble on the exchange. The Saints get the football. Jack Del Rio recovered. Almost disaster. The Saints maintain their lead at 3-0.
Some of you are being asked to choose a long-distance phone company. If you don't choose, someone's going to choose for you. And you know how that could make you feel. So if AT&T's clear long-distance connections and full services are important to you, send in your ballot. AT&T Long Distance, for over 100 years, when you reached out, we were there. And you can keep it that way by making the choice yourself.
If you're looking for more in family transportation, say goodbye to the big, bulky station wagon. Now say hello to the 1986 Toyota Wonder Wagon. It has more room than any other wagon or small van. Gets more miles per gallon than any other full-sized wagon, and no small van has more standard horsepower. You can get 2 sunroofs, captain's chairs, and an ice maker. The Toyota Wonder Wagon.
Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
Being grown-up is more complicated than playing grown-up. That's why Nationwide Insurance has simplified financial planning with our Universal Life policy. It's a new generation of life insurance that gives you competitive interest rates, plus tax advantages, and is flexible enough to change as your life changes, to give you the kind of blanket protection you need throughout your life.
Nationwide is on your side.
Here's the exchange. That's where the problem existed.
But you know, Phil Simms, for whatever reason, never had the ball. He never got the ball in with both hands. I think it's that same thing. I think it hit the left hand again, and before he could get the right hand out, the ball was on the ground.
Recovered in the end zone by Jack Del Rio, and the Saints take over at their own 20. Wayne Wilson, the lone setback for New Orleans. 2 tight ends. Wilson going on first down, has the ball deflected. Curtis McGriff got the hand up and knocked the ball away. The fumbles in 1984 last year, in 16 games they fumbled 17 times, lost 9. This year, in 8 games, 18 fumbles, and they've lost 10 of them.
I think the big thing there is a number of times that they've had that center quarterback exchange. That, you know, say it again, that just has to be automatic. That's something that doesn't happen. And it just doesn't go away by itself either. That's obvious.
Giants on a blitz. Intended for Eric Martin from Wilson. Another final score. Houston has beaten the Cardinals 20-10. What has happened to the Cardinals and what has happened to the 49ers?
I tell you, those Cardinals, they've just never gotten the thing going this year. There's something wrong there because they're too good a team.
Well, they lost their offensive coordinator, Rod Dowhower, who went to Indianapolis. That could be something, I suppose.
That could be a part of it. You know, Roy Green has had the bad toe and so on. Neil Lomax isn't playing well.
3rd and 10, the Giants put the heat Wilson, Dave Wilson, did a good job to avoid the sack by Leonard Marshall.
You know, now that Leonard Marshall is the sack leader, the Giants are moving him around. Watch him here. He's the nose tackle on this play, and that's why when Wilson was here, Marshall was able to pressure him. You know, usually, of course, he plays the right end. They started moving him over the guard, and now they moved him over the center, and he's running stunts on that left side.
Ryan Hansen back to punt. Phil McConkey back deep for the Giants. Hansen has punted once for 44 yards. This is a dandy. McConkey retreats back to his 25. McConkey trying to get around the corner and gets out of bounds at about the 32. Hang time of 4-8, a 55-yard punt by Hansen. McConkey brought it back 7, so they net 48. Good kick, good coverage. 3-0 Saints.
If you're waiting to buy a personal computer, you may have questions about power, expandability, and dollars and cents. For the complete answer, take a close look at IBM. An IBM PC runs thousands of programs, expands easily, and prices are better than ever. So don't wait. Once you take the first step, the rest come easy. IBM Personal Computers.
Billy D. Williams talks about the power of Colt 45.
You know, I've always heard about the power of Colt 45, but I was never sure exactly what that meant. So I got some, found out for myself.
Hey, Billy, you free tonight?
Works every time.
The dynamite taste of Colt 45. It works every time.
Who's got a truck that can do a ton of work? Toyota is who. Who's got the most payload of any small truck? Toyota is who. Who's got power? Who's got an electronically fuel-injected engine? And who's got a towing option that can handle 2.5 tons? Toyota is who. 1986 Toyota 1-ton. And who else? Nobody.
Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
Wednesday.
Anything moves, waste it.
McCall. His son. A teenage girl. A deadly showdown.
Got some work to do.
The Equalizer.
Pat Summerall John Madden. We're at the Superdome in New Orleans with Hurricane Juan just outside. 3-0 Saints lead with 48 seconds left in the first quarter. Sims out to Carpenter, who scoops it up. Gets outside the 35, about the 37.
You know, I think one thing, this Giant offense, this Giant team has probably played well enough to be 7-0 this year, and the reason they're 4-3 is all the turnovers, and it seems like they've had so many, you know, that thing, the exchange with the center, you know, of course, we know George Adams had 3 of them on the goal line. Those types of things have really made them a 4-3 team.
And 5, and here's Morris. Morris a first down and more before he's hit down by Jack Del Rio. One of the Saints had a shot at him at about the line of scrimmage. Morris is still down, and he just came up with air. 15-yard gain.
It looked like to me that he was tackled after he went out of bounds. The official obviously didn't think that, but Joe Morris makes a nice little cut, gets to the outside here. Now he's having trouble. He can't stay in bounds. He goes out. He looks like he decided to step out of bounds. Jack Del Rio said, hey, baloney, man, you're still going to get hit. And he got out there, and he put him in there along that court and stuff.
Morris, 8 carries for 58 yards.
You know, if you're a back, when I was a coach, I hated to see a back run out of bounds. Now, Joe Morris isn't the biggest guy. He got outside. You're going to get hit anyway. You may as well turn it up.
Adams has replaced Morris. The blitz is on by Jackson, and Sims gets hammered. Just as he let it go, Sims really got popped. Jackson had a shot at him. Then he was hit by Tony Elliott.
Yeah, it was a nose tackle. Finally got him. what happened, George Adams misses Ricky Jackson. Jackson gets the first shot here, and here comes Elliott, the second guy, and he puts it right on Sims' shoulder pads.
3-0 Saints lead at the end of one.
The #1 ranked Iowa Hawkeyes, the 9th ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. A crucial Big Ten meeting next Saturday on CBS Sports.
From a seat like this, you can see the whole field. But what if you could only see this much, or even less? It can be like that if you have the hereditary eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. RP and related diseases of the eye affect hundreds of thousands of people, many of them kids and young adults. So far, there's no way to treat or prevent it. But the RP Foundation Fighting Blindness is helping scientists to find a way, and helping people with RP to get diagnostic, genetic, and personal counseling, and more. Medical researchers have to make progress, slowly and carefully, yard by yard. But with our help, they'll find a way to stop RP from stealing people's sight. Someday, everyone will be able to sit in a seat like this and enjoy a full, clear view of the game. And won't that be something to cheer about? For more information, call the RP Foundation Fighting Blindness, toll-free at 1-800-638-2300.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, who offers a full line of 1986 cars and trucks. More dependability, more quality, more satisfied owners. Who could ask for anything more? And by IBM and the growing family of IBM personal computers.
Ready to start the second quarter at the Superdome. Giants have the ball at the Saint 48.5-yard line. New Orleans leading 3-0. Second and 10. Byron Williams is the man in motion. He gets the reverse, and he's got some room and some blockers. Dave Weimer finally herded him out of bounds. 16-yard gain. It looked like it could have been more than that.
Well, you know, the great thing about that, it was off the sweep that they've been doing so successfully this first half. And they started on the sweep to this side. The Saints started the pursuit like they thought it was a sweep, and then they hand to Byron Williams going the other way.
Byron Williams, the fastest of all the Giants, split wide to the left this time, with Manuel outright to the right. Oh, McConkey is in place. On the sweep this time to Morris. Taken down from behind by Glenn Red. But a gain of 5 nevertheless.
But Joe Morris is starting to get tired. He has a little limp in there now. You know, a sweep, you know, if a running back runs a lot, that's one thing. But when you run a lot of sweeps, you have to run about 25 or 30 yards before you get back to the line of scrimmage. So if you gain 5 yards, you can run 30 yards to gain 5.
Maurice Carthen is lined up in front of Morris now. It'll be second and 6. Sims gives again to Morris. Again, Morris breaks to the outside, maintains his balance. Looks like he might be about a yard shy of that first down.
You know, the interesting thing about that play is Joe Morris didn't even get back to the huddle to find out what the play was. He was still walking back from that sweep play. So what probably happened is the quarterback or the fullback told him on the line of scrimmage what the play was, and it was his number.
And he was sorry to hear it, I'm sure. 3rd and 1 at the Saint 22.
Just when you thought you'd missed out on low finance rates, Chevrolet announces new low 8.8% financing on some of our most popular new Chevys with manual transmissions. Save up to $1,070 in finance charges on Chevy Cavalier, $1,570 on Chevy Camaro, $910 on Chevy Chevette. This is a limited time offer, so hurry. Get low 8.8% financing. You can save on finance charges through November 20th. See your Chevy dealer now.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Honey, this is just like the PC I have at the office.
The PC-compatible Tandy 1000, just $9.99. With a Christmas bonus color monitor, save $300.
So,
Soon as I finish our budget, sweetheart.
Budget?
It comes with its own software
My report's due tomorrow, Dad.
and has plenty of home uses.
Don't stay too late at the office, dear.
The Tandy 1000 with color monitor Christmas bonus, only at Radio Shack.
Sometimes getting car financing turns out to be one long hassle.
What kind of car did you have in mind?
A Fiero.
Oh, an Italian car.
It's a Pontiac from General Motors.
They make Chevrolets, Oldsmobiles, Buicks, Cadillacs.
GMC trucks.
This is none of my business, but those are not Italian cars. Make it easy on yourself. Finance your car or truck right at your GM dealer with GMAC.
You understand, we do have to know what you want to do with all these cars.
Nobody knows more about financing and leasing cars than GMAC.
Thursday, Magnum's past catches up to him.
Maybe you shouldn't have come home.
Rekindling old memories, renewing old feuds, and opening old wounds. A very special Magnum.
Joe Morris over on the Giant bench. They've already gotten 103 yards on the ground. Morris has 67 of those. And when they do that, they're undefeated. Right now, they trail 3-0.
But if they do that and they fumble on the goal line too many times, then they're not going to be undefeated when they do that. That's the thing. You know, the great equalizer is those turnover things. And if you know there's going to be no turnovers, it's pretty easy to predict. When you start that turnover thing, that's what makes these games sometimes makes no sense.
Year after year, that's the bottom line when we get down to the playoffs. It's those turnovers. Something seems to be wrong with the clock. And that's the reason for this delay. 13:50 on the scoreboard clock, and that's correct. The Giants have it at the St. 22-yard line. 3rd and 1. Adams and Carthon, the two running backs. Vito Cab, the move man. That's going to be close to Carthon. Bob Frederick says, hold it a second. We may have to measure this as Glenn Red was on the bottom of the pile for the Saints. Bill Parcells anxiously looking on.
Well, I think one thing that makes them a little anxious not having Joe Morris in there. They didn't pick it up, so they're going to go for the field goal here, but that's another Giant problem, is really not having a short yardage guy. I mean, Carthon's a good blocker, but he's not a short yardage guy. Carpenter isn't. Galbraith isn't. The only guy they have is Joe Morris, and he was over there getting some oxygen.
Jess Atkinson will try the field goal from 39 yards out with Jeff Rutledge holding. Remember, they have a fake. No fake this time. No good. He had hit 7 in a row. That one's wide left. And the Saints cling to that lead of 3-0. We have 13 minutes and 5 seconds now left in the first half. And that tells you the story.
Out on the town, flying around, pizzas disappear. Now you're talking Friday night, now you're talking beer. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is smoking here.
Stroh Light, smooth, refreshing, less filling.
Now you're talking Stroh's, now you're talking beer. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is smoking here.
The Great American Railroads. They were built to cut coast-to-coast travel from 5 months to 1 week and open up the West. That pioneer spirit made this country grow. Today, I see that same spirit and energy in hundreds of small to mid-sized companies whose new ideas, new jobs, and new technologies will continue to build America. At First Jersey Securities, we specialize in discovering these emerging growth companies for today's investors with vision. First Jersey Securities. Come grow with us.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till you're gonna need
to lean on. Nothing works like a Chevy truck.
In their first meeting, the Chicago Bears steamrolled their bitter rival. The rematch is set for Green Bay next Sunday on CBS Sports.
This pretty well tells you the story of the missed field goal. Coach Bill Parcells' reaction. Watch him. Ball's on the ground. Be prepared to duck. Wilson to Wilson. Fumble. Wilson, I believe, got it back. Jim Burt out there in good shape.
Gary Reasons was also out there. You know, he's a guy that you don't hear much about when you hear about these giant linebackers. You know, you hear about Harry Carson, Lawrence Taylor, but that Gary Reasons makes some of those big plays on the runs. You know, and he was a guy that got out there and knocked that ball out of there.
He can do a lot of things. He can play as a linebacker position, or he can get down in a three-point stance and play as a lineman. Now they go with a four-man front. Wilson back to throw. Has it picked off by Elvis Patterson. Patterson still on his feet, headed left. Now headed up the field, still on his feet, headed for the end zone. Finally, Larry Hardy gets him down. Elvis Patterson. They don't call him Toast anymore.
Not anymore, you know, and he's one of the best athletes on this Giant team. And I think he just showed there with that movement. You know, when they have those vertical jumps and all those types of things, he's better at it than anyone. And we see here, Wilson has pretty good pass protection. He just throws that ball out there. Now, Patterson was coming up, I think, covering the outside guy. It was thrown over the inside guy's head. Watch these moves that he makes. Beanbags flying around, coming deep. Now he turns it up here. Maybe he's a guy that should run that short yardage stuff for him. He got some nice little moves.
Sure does. Sims going right to work. They have a screen pass set up pretty well to Adams. Adams inside the St. 30, about the 26, before Terry Hogue and Johnny Poe converge.
You know, I think one of the things with Elvis Patterson, as you said, they've been talking about him, and his nickname was Toast because he got burned so much. And Mark Haynes, the All-Pro, was holding out. You got to play with Patterson, and he'll hurt you. He really hasn't hurt this team. He's made a big contribution to this defense.
He leads the team now in interceptions. Adams and Carthen are the two running backs. Mr. Adams. About the 26, James Haynes. Ricky Jackson up to make the stop.
Yeah, we're talking about Elvis Patterson, and Mark Haynes has been in camp now for 2 weeks, and there was talk a week ago they'd activate him, and Bill Parcells said he wasn't ready. He still doesn't feel he's ready this week, but tomorrow they have to make a move with Mark Haynes, so he'll be activated tomorrow.
3rd and 5. Saints showing blitz. Jackson does come to get it across to Tony Galbraith. Inside the 20, a Giant first down, and the ex-Saint, who is the all-time leading receiver as far as running backs are concerned, is taken down by Terry Hogue. Started his pro career here with the Saints.
I think the thing that's interesting about that is the thing that Bum Phillips said that they had to do yesterday, and that was take away that short passing game. They really haven't been able to do. They really haven't stopped the Giants yet.
But they lead 3-0. And you go back again to turnovers. 10:15 left to play in the first half. New Orleans ahead. Adams has a big hole. Hammers to about the 15, and the Saints knock him backwards from there, led by Terry Hogue again.
Terry Hogue was the safety in there. He was getting some hits trying to get in there, and Adams, and his helmet went flying out of there. A lot of times when you see that, guys will jump out of it and try and recover it. Now watch Adams here. It looked like to me that he left Chris Godfrey as guard a little soon. Had he cut back in off of him, you know, that he would have got a bigger gain.
2nd and 6. Adams got 4. Sims back to throw. The Saints on a blitz. To Mark Bavaro. It'll be 1st and goal Giants from the Saints 7. Frank Watlett on the tackle.
You know, it's an interesting play here, what they do. The Giants, here's a motion man. He's going to come in here. Then they go out, then they just take Bavaro right here. He catches the ball. He just goes and sits down here. Everyone goes off this way, out this way, and there's a big hole right here for Mark Bavaro. Now see, the motion guy comes in. He's going to come inside. The back goes outside. And see right here, stop it there. Here's Bavaro right in the middle.
First and goal from the 8. Adams is hammered by the Saint defense, led by Bruce Clark.
That side of the Saint defense, where they have Bruce Clark and Ricky Jackson, is about the same thing that the Giants have with Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall. And it's tough to run over to that side, and that's also where they get their pass rush from.
Second and goal from the 6 now. Sims pointing at somebody who wants picked up on that Saint defense. He has to throw it. Pass deflected. Intended for Carpenter. Then Manuel perhaps had a shot. So did a couple of the Saints. Johnny Poe was the Saint defender.
On this one, there's just no one open out here. I think the Saints have pretty good coverage. The ball was tipped the first time. Lionel Manuel was double teamed there. Carpenter was the guy that tipped the first one.
It's a wise choice to double team Lionel Manuel.
Probably why we haven't heard much of Lionel Manuel.
Third and goal from the 6. Adams is split wide to the right. Sims retreats and throws to the corner. Got Bobby Johnson for the touchdown. Good throw by Sims and a good catch by Johnson. The Giants take the lead.
Well, Phil Sims was watching Bobby Johnson all the way on that play. They had 2 receivers. One goes in motion, but watch Phil Sims. He's going to look all the way out here at us because we're where Bobby Johnson is. Right there, perfect throw, up over his outside shoulder. The only guy that can catch that one is Johnson.
Really impossible, John, to defend against that kind of throw.
Phil Sims was congratulating there in the sideline with a tap in the head.
Rutledge holding for Atkinson. And the Giants take the lead 7-3 with 8:03 left to play in the first half. Saints got a field goal. The Giants just got their first score of the day.
Giving that extra effort makes winners be all you can be. Sponsored by the U.S. Army. Number 34, George Wansley of the Indianapolis Colts, is a study in hard work and perseverance. Wansley carried the football only 37 times in his rookie season. But in 1985, the second-year running back got a chance to start. Now he consistently carries defenders with him in stubborn pursuit of the goal line. By striving to achieve a starting role and then exerting extra effort to hold on to it, George Wansley has become the best he can be.
Technology is taking over the world. You can keep up with it, or you're going to be left behind. That's why I joined the Army.
From microchip circuitry to laser technology, the world's largest school for high-tech skills is the Army.
Bravo, go active. Bravo, lock, 05.
Be all that you can be.
I don't intend to get left behind.
Find your future in the Army.
We see what this motion does. Here's Lionel Manuel, and when he starts in motion, that takes this corner here. He comes in here. This corner then switches and goes. So now he gets inside, so Bobby Johnson can get outside and have all this room out here. Now watch the effect of motion. The corner, who is the outside man, starts in. Now they have to do a switch right here. They switch. Now he gets inside right here. If we can stop it here, we see how he can get. Now the corner is inside. Johnson has this position, and Sims can throw it right over his outside shoulder. See, and he can make the perfect throw, and there's nothing that Johnny Poe, the corner, can do about that pass.
That's well done, strategically and physically.
Well, the thing is, by motion, then that took Bobby Johnson, instead of not having much room outside, gave him a lot of width.
Atkinson to kick off to Roaches and Willie Tullis. And it'll be Tullis at the 10. and Robbie Jones on the kickoff coverage team. Bill Parcells has been upset with the kickoff coverage. In fact, he said we cover kickoffs like the Pointer Sisters. Next Saturday, CBS Sports College Football will present a crucial Big Ten game between #1 ranked Iowa and Ohio State. 2 Heisman Trophy candidates in action. Chuck Long of Iowa, Pete Byers of Ohio State. Next Saturday here on CBS. 1st and 10 Saints. Their own 26. Dave Wilson, the quarterback. Outside goes to Larry Hardy. Pass complete, but only netted a couple of yards. Checking around the league, Cincinnati. That's a bit of a surprise, leading Pittsburgh 17-0 in the second quarter. And the 49ers over the unbeaten Rams 21-0 in the second.
That's a bit of a surprise, because one way the Rams got undefeated was that strong defense.
Second down. Line of scrimmage to St. 28. The Giants coming on a blitz. And flags flying from everywhere.
False start on number 67 of the offense. Second down will be replayed.
Stan Brock.
Well, you know, it looks like the Giants were faking a blitz up there. And one thing, you know, watch if we can see, it's on the other side. Taylor's on that side. It's a right tackle over here. He just jumped a little early. But sometimes when they see all those guys up in there blitzing, they have a hard time holding and waiting for the count.
Well, they had a good play call against it. It was going to be a draw play. But they jumped a little too soon. Second down and 13. Wilson operates this time out of the spread. Intended for Wayne Wilson, high over his head. I may be wrong, but I think the way Dave Wilson has thrown the ball the last couple of times, that arm is bothering him.
I think so, too. As we said earlier in practice yesterday, he couldn't throw at all. And he was saying before the game that it's really bothering him, although he wanted to play. And I wouldn't be surprised before this game is over that we're going to see Richard Todd.
4 out of 14, 3rd and 13. Vito Merkins, one of the St. wide receivers. He's the inside one, number 19. Wilson gets away from the blitz and throws. Into the hands and out of the hands of Lindsey Scott. Terry Williams was the chaser on defense for the Giants.
I'll tell you, right at the end of the play, Dave Wilson really takes a shot. Watch him right here, just as he throws the ball. Watch, right in the back there. I'll tell you, that jolted everything that Wilson has. Whew.
He got up strolling, but that had a sting. Brian Hansen back to punt, and Phil McConkey back by himself for the Giants. McConkey, fair catch. The Giant 36. Hang time of 4-8, a punt of 41 yards, no return. So it's 6:35 left to go first half. The Giants lead the Saints 7-3.
Chevrolet is merging a world of ideas for you.
It's coming now to the USA. The fun awaits for you today. Come and be a part of it all.
Today, Chevrolet is like an international auto show. Imported and American-built small cars, wagons, hatchbacks, convertibles, 3-, 4-, or 6-cylinder power. Nobody nowhere has more kinds of small cars than your Chevy dealer's international auto show.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy. Chevy.
For a limited time, Wendy's breakfast is yours for a song.
Only Wendy's.
Wendy's French toast is now 99 cents. 99 cents for a scrambled egg platter, too.
Only Wendy's and Wendy's alone.
Our breakfast breakfast sandwich, 99 cents. Wendy's breakfast, yours for a song.
Barbecues and cowboy shoes, guitars and high gear. Now you're talking country, now you're talking beer. Now you're talking good times and Stroh's are spoken here.
Stroh's, fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste.
Now you're talking Stroh's, now you're talking beer. Now you're talking good times and Stroh's are spoken here.
The quest for the crown, the NBA's 40th season, 2 o'clock Eastern, 3 Pacific. CBS Sports presents a special on the National Basketball Association. We've already seen the debut of Patrick Ewing. Sims fakes to Adams, has some time. Across the middle to Navarro. And he is hard to get down after he makes the catch. You could just see him gaining confidence.
And I tell you, he's not only turning into it, he started off as a good blocker, he's turning into a good receiver now. You see how he has that feel there? He has to get by one linebacker, by the second linebacker. Now he feels that hole there. I tell you, he's the guy, if you're going to take him down, you better bring some friends with you.
He is a truckload. 1st and 10 at the St. 42. It's on the move again. They give to Adams. Adams cuts back inside the 40 to about the 37. Tony Elliott. Jim Wilkes. The Saints who made the stop.
You know, one thing, I think that's the second time that George Adams really doesn't have a feel for his guards yet. He looks like Billy Ard, that he could have followed Billy Ard. Watch the left guard here, number 67. Now Adams starts running here. Now he should get right in behind him there. You see that? And he cut back and left his pulling guard and cut right back into the pursuit of the defense.
Here is Carpenter. On 2nd down, stopped at about the 35. About 3 yards short of a first down by Tony Elliott and Jim Wilkes.
One thing I think the lack of running by Carpenter has kind of hurt this team, not being able to get any fullback running. And you can see Phil Simms over there. It really puts the pressure on him because a quarterback would like to be able to get some first downs running. But I think at some point he's going to say the only way we can get a first down is if I throw the ball or Joe Morris runs a sweep.
I think he's going to have to throw it right now. Spread formation. Simms has the time. Intended for Tony Galbraith. Terry Hogue almost took the ball and caught him. Tony Galbraith.
Almost took his helmet in his head, too. I don't think that Phil Simms saw Terry Hogue. Watch him come running from the left to the right of the screen, right in front of that play. That was close to an interception, among other things.
He stripped it. 4th down, about 3. The ball at the 35.
And this could either be a 52-yard field goal.
No.
They're not going to do that. They're going for it on 4th down, but it would have been a 52-yard field goal.
Simms telling his center something, moved up closer so he could hear, I suppose. Now he has to come out of the pocket, and now he's down. The safe will take over. Simms close, but I don't believe he got the first down. Neither do the Saints, as Jim Wilkes is on the bottom of the pile.
Hey, a lot depends on where they mark that ball because that's going to be pretty close. Simms tried to get an extension there at the end. I don't think he has it, though. That's not a first down where it's marked there. Phil Simms knows it. When they take the helmet off, they know it's not a first down.
About a half-yard short, it would seem.
Really, from the shotgun, you know, it showed everyone that they were going to pass. They got a stunt. They got pressure on him there. Now Simms knows right there. See, he didn't do one of those slide deals. He put his head down right there at the end. You see, he's looking now to see if he has it, trying to move the ball. The official took the ball and put it back. Said, no, you don't get it where you put it. You get it where you go down.
So the Saints take over at their own 33. First and 10. 4:53 left to play. In the first half with the Giants leading 7-3. Earl Campbell is the deep back. And this is Campbell. Earl is hammered by Harry Carson. Knocked out of bounds. Pickup of about 5, however. New Orleans' first 5 possessions. First time they got it, they got a field goal. Since then, punt, 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 and interception. Second and 4. Tice was the man in motion. This is Wilson. And that Giant defense rises to the occasion. The #1 ranked defense in the NFL.
I'll tell you, they weren't fooled by that one. The Saints looked like they either had the right side pulling the wrong way or it was a trick play. See if we can watch it again. Watch that. They're going to pull from the left to the right. See, the whole right side went to the left. The whole left side came to the right, and it didn't fool the Giants offside. They got about 7 guys there on that tackle.
That'll make it 3rd and 1. Earl Campbell is the lone setback. They fake to Earl. They didn't fool anybody with that one either. As Byron Hunt was all over Dave Wilson, he was lucky to get rid of the ball. They'll have to punt now.
Dave Wilson saying, Bum Phillips has been telling me all week I have to get rid of the ball. The Giants coming with a 5-man rush. He said, I'll get rid of the ball, but there better be some guys open. Said, I better get rid of the ball. Whew, that has to hurt.
Phil McConkey. That, of course, is Hanson, the New Orleans punter, and McConkey, number 80, standing back at about his 14-yard line. This is a dandy. McConkey, no fair catch. Flag is down. McConkey is down. That's got to be an illegal block. 4-5 and 43 yards. Frank Watlett was the first Saint down.
That'll put the Giants in the hole. 1 by the good punt, 2 by the penalty that I'm sure is against the Giants. As you say, that's so tough in these kick returns today because you can't block below the waist. And after you make contact, about the only thing you can do is hold a guy or grab him. But the Giants would have had poor field position anyway, and then with the 10-yard penalty, they're going to have 10 yards worse field
position. It's an illegal block.
3:47
on the
left
kick
to play in the first
team.
half.
Number was unreported. Will be first down.
We can see right up here in the top right of the screen, looks like who it could be, 21, Ted Watts. You see, he's blocking the guy from behind, and he just pushes him with his shoulder. That's not much of a penalty, but that's probably it. The guy got in front of him, and he pushed him from behind.
First down for the Giants. Sims gives on the draw play to Adams. Adams gets out to about the 15, some breathing room. Jack Del Rio tripped him up.
You know, last week when George Adams scored that touchdown down there and didn't fumble, I think that really helped his confidence when they were playing the Redskins and Joe Morris got hurt and had to put in Adams down there in the goal line, and he got his first NFL touchdown, and he kind of looks like a different guy this week.
Looks like he's sure of himself now. Here he is again. He is strong enough at 225 to get the Giant first down. Out to about the 20. Dave Wilson today, no sacks, but 7 hurries, 4 knockdowns, 1 interception, and 1 deflected batted ball. 4 out of 16, 19 yards. And with those kind of statistics, they're lucky to be as close as they are, 7-3.
Well, like that last pass, the only reason he didn't have a sack is he just threw the ball away, or he would have been sacked.
20. Manuel in motion. Change to Adams again to the 25. Running well. Del Rio again on the bottom of the pile, number 50 with Glenn Red.
You know, as we see, excuse me, Pat, I was just saying, as we see George Adams in there, I wonder if Joe Morris is injured. It looked early like he was tired, then maybe he had an ankle, and now he's sitting down there in the end of the bench. Remember last week he had the concussion,
and he begged to get back in the game. You know what the Giants do when a player like Morris did last week, who had the concussion. Of course, you always want to go back in the game, or at least players say they do. What the Giants do is hide their helmet. And they're not going back into action without the hat. 2 minutes to go, first half.
Yes, the telltale sign of high-quality Owens Corning building products.
Products like attic blanket insulation to help you save on home heating and cooling costs. Long-lasting Owens Corning roof shingles with a heart of pink fiberglass. And easy-to-install fiberglass ceiling panels.
Unbeatable, as you can plainly see.
Owens Corning. Our building products put your house in the pink.
Now, another way to spell relief. Use sodium-free Rolaids. Like regular Rolaids, it consumes all the acid required to bring millions 100% relief. Plus, it's rich in calcium. Regular Rolaids and use sodium-free Rolaids for 100% relief.
How many shicks can you get from one Schick disposable? How many does your disposable give you?
You see those lights? They're burning out too soon in ordinary soft white light bulbs. But not me. I'm in Sylvania soft white bulbs. Why, in this 60-watt alone, I can burn 50 more hours. And only these Sylvania bulbs have a guarantee. So get Sylvania soft white light bulbs instead of those guys with a dim future.
Ask for Sylvania, where the best comes to light.
If you think we're not going to invade Nicaragua, the Nicaraguans think we are. What have they got waiting for us if we do invade? Watch 60 Minutes Sunday.
Our man Ed Croak of the Giants, who does such a good job of keeping us informed, tells us that Morris' problem is not related to the concussion. He has been hyperventilating, and he's hanging onto that helmet.
As you see last week, you know, he had the concussion. They hid the helmet so they wouldn't sneak back in the game. Now he's holding onto that helmet. He has it between his legs, and he's telling the trainer there, look, I'm probably okay. Just let me hold on to this thing. They finally left him alone.
In the meantime, Adams carries the ball for a gain of about 4. It'll be 3rd and short. Frank Warren made the stop. It's 3rd and 1.
Bill Parcells was saying last week after they took off Morris and took his helmet away, he was following up and down and saying, let me in, let me in, let me in. And Parcells said, no, and he thought he was all right. And finally said, okay, if you're not going to let me in, tell me what happened to Kenny King then.
Short yardage, hand off to Carpenter, and Carpenter gets the first down. Out to about the 38. Good running by Rob Carpenter. Johnny Poe on the stop.
What he said last week was what happened to Kenny Hill. Then remember, Kenny Hill was thrown out of the game. He just figured out. So what happened to Kenny Hill?
Last week against the Redskins was a tough afternoon for Rob Carpenter. In fact, a couple of times he never even had a chance to get even started. Don't forget, at the half, coming up, Brandon Hank Stram will update you on today's NFL action with scores and highlights. And we'll have a little bit of the Dallas Cowboys alumni game. This was alumni day at Texas Stadium when they played a game at the half. Well, now, everywhere we go, they would like to have John Madden as the head coach. Are you sure?
Yeah. That's all the answer. Yeah, no more. No mas.
Got to stop being so vague.
I wonder what's happened to that hurricane out there. I kind of miss that. This would be a great day to play here. If they played outside like they used to at Tulane Stadium, there'd be wind whirling around here and mud and dirt and grass and all that stuff going on.
Hurricane 1 is just outside. Sims gets it out to Maurice Carthen. He gets it out of bounds over in front of the Giant bench. At about the 45, the Giant 45. Terry Hogue knocked him out of bounds.
I think one thing here before the halftime, if the Giants could get a score just before halftime, I think they could be well on their way to putting this game away. I think the Saints started off strong, but they really didn't get it done. Now the Giants are starting to come back. They're starting to get the momentum, starting to get things together. And if they could get a score here, that would be a big part of this game.
Well, the way they've dominated the game so far, 7-3 is not as big as the lead could be and should be. Adams. That'll be another first down. Jack Del Rio around his ankles. Giants have used one of their timeouts. Now they just used another one. And so they have one left.
This is the underneath thing that we're talking about. That what happened, George Adams was up as a wingback. He's going to come from left to right underneath. Underneath means between the line and in front of the linebackers. The linebackers drop off, and the line rushes, and then that lane between there is what's called underneath. Let's see if we can see what underneath is. See, now we start here. Now watch the linebackers drop. Now if we stop it here, here's the linebackers, the line they make. Here's the rush line. And this box in here is the underneath. Now Adams is going to come right in here and catch the ball. Sometimes they use this guy, the umpire, and they play off him. See, now he'll come right in here. The umpire has to duck, and Adams gets the ball underneath. Everyone says underneath. We did this underneath. We hit underneath. That's underneath. Underneath. Over the line, over the official's head.
One more score, and it's the Steelers who have scored, but Cincinnati still leads 17-7. On first down from the spread, they give to Galbraith, and he's got no place to go. He does manufacture a couple of yards out of it. Clock running with now down to about 50 seconds left to play. The Giants hurry back. They've only got one more timeout. They need to get closer.
Saints didn't go for that trick.
To Manuel. That'll move the sticks again. David Wingmer on a recovery, a gain of 12. Now they're in field goal range.
They're trying to save that one timeout for the field goal.
Here comes Sims out of the pocket, throws sideline, complete. Again, it's Lionel Manuel. Leads the NFL in yardage, not in the number of catches, but in yards gained on receptions. And here is Jess Atkinson. He has missed one time. Let's see. 42 yards this will be, just about.
Well, of course, this is a tough thing. I don't know if the Giants are going to kick it on this down. They could be trying to get one more play in before they kick the field goal. Now, that's tough with no timeout.
Right.
And, of course, what they would have to do if they throw it here, and this is what they're thinking now, if you throw it, you have to throw it in the end zone. You can't throw it in the field of play. Well, they decided not to go. Maybe Phil Sims was over there trying to talk him into it, but Bill Parcells said, no, we don't want to chance that. We'll kick it.
Too far out, I think, for a fake field goal. They ran so well against Cincinnati. Rutledge is the holder. You saw the statistics on Atkinson from this range.
That's why you hate to use those timeouts, because the Giants really have good position here, and they also have first down.
Joe Morris talking with his head coach, and the head coach speaks back. Rutledge holding from 42 yards out. Atkinson is wide left again.
Parcells is going through. He said, we've done everything. What do you have to do? We've moved the ball. We've stopped him. We just can't get it in. This is frustrating.
And there's a frustrated young man.
He doesn't need that black stuff under his eyes. The sun can't get in this place.
That is a little strange, isn't it? 0 for 2. Miss from 39 and then from 42.
Boy, it's hard to find a friend when you miss like that, isn't it? He
sure is. Saints will run it out. Give to Wilson. Wilson will run it out. The fumble. But that's the end of the half. Terry Kennard made the hit. First half is over. The Giants lead the Saints by the score of 7-3. Sims to Bobby Johnson, the touchdown.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by today's Chevrolet, who invite you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86. Stroh's and Stroh Light. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. And by Wendy's, now serving freshly prepared breakfasts.
Oh, that's great. When I needed a new chainsaw, I went right to a Poulin dealer.
That's Poulin.
Feature for feature, dollar for dollar, it's hard to beat a Poulin.
Poulin.
And a Poulin dealer can help you pick just the right saw for the job. Seems a saw this good deserves a dealer this good. So, when you're looking for a tough, dependable chainsaw, look for a dealer that sells Poulin.
Poulin.
That's what I said, Poulin.
You said Poulin?
Ask them.
Poulin, America's chainsaw.
For the average renter, the 5-door Mercury Lynx has plenty of room. And it's only $29.95 a day at budget. But budget has another car. One that's more my style, the Lincoln Town Car. Look at this headroom. And even us big shots like budget small price. Only $39.95 a day. Get the economy of luxury. Or the luxury of economy. Go to budget and say, the car, or the car.
Based on a true story, she's a woman about to face every mother's worst fear.
He didn't call?
Her teenage son has vanished.
That's not like Brian.
His first time away from home.
Do you think we should call the police?
Legally, he's not missing.
My God, what do I have to do to make you people understand my son is missing?
A nightmare of helplessness and suspicion.
Could he have killed Brian?
There's no proof. Did you kill my son?
Ellen Burstyn. Into Thin Air. Tuesday.
Welcome back to New York. I'm Brent Musburger along with Hank Strand. And Hank, a lot of interesting things happen around the NFL this afternoon. Let's take everybody to the scoreboard. Washington made its 14 first-half points stand up for a big win in Cleveland. And, Hank, I think those funeral notices about one Joe Theismann may have been a bit premature.
Yeah, I think they scraped Joe out of the coffin, and he did a job this afternoon.
How about young Bernie Kosar of the Browns?
He had a bad day today, and that's expected of a young quarterback, but I think he's going to be a good one in time. They had to take him out and put Danielson back in, but he's going to be a good one.
And in that game, John Riggins carried the ball 30 times for 112 yards and 1 Redskin touchdown. The Houston Oilers defeated the St. Louis Cardinals, who were without O.J. Anderson. 20-10 was the final score. What about Neil Lomax, Hank?
He's having a bad time. He really is, and he just can't get in sync, and it's very obvious. They're not playing well as a football team. In any phase of their game, they're not playing well, and that's really been their problem.
Mike Rozier was hurt, but Warren Moon got this touchdown for him.
And you got to like this young quarterback. He's got a good arm, he's got great escapability skill, he can do it all, and he's a good leader along with it.
Any excuse for a blocked punt in the NFL?
I don't know why there should be, but the specialty team coaches around the league have done a great job. There were 3 of them blocked today that I saw.
The Cardinals now sink to 3-5 on the season. they have lost 4 straight games. And with O.J. Anderson not playing, Stump Mitchell did his part, 148 yards on the afternoon. Philadelphia rallied to pull one out against Buffalo. 21-17 was the final score, and it looked like Hank Buller was going to get 2 in a row here.
Yeah, but the Polish Prince came out of retirement, did a great job again this afternoon, talking about Ron Jaworski.
And he's got a defensive back. Tell me about Wes Hopkins in that secondary for Marion Campbell.
I was surprised last year that he didn't make the All-Pro team, and I said so on television several times. He definitely is an All-Pro and the very best at his position in 1985.
Well, there he is with that interception getting into the end zone, and here's the Polish Prince doing it for the Eagles. On the afternoon, Jaws was 21 of 42, 258 yards, and that touchdown for the Philadelphia Eagles. Indianapolis easily over Green Bay, 37-10. Did you see us in our earlier halftime, Hank? You liked their schoolyard play, so Indianapolis was doing
yeah,
good.
it's a little high diddle-diddle up the middle and then down the field for a big play and a touchdown. Wayne Capers.
And the Indianapolis defense did a pretty good job, too. They intercepted Lynn Dickey, the Green Bay Packer quarterback, 4 times in that game. Seattle and the New York Jets. The Seahawks were up 14-0 before the Jets did it on the rebound. But early on, it was a big turnover, and Jacob Green hauled in 7 points for the Hawks.
Look at how he played the hop.
Practices that, Hank.
Yes, he does. Spends a lot of time with that, but I think they're going to have to call the fire department before he gets through with this run.
Great pass coming up here, though. And Wesley Walker, watch him concentrate on this ball because this turned out to be the game winner.
This was really a sensational catch in traffic, holds onto the ball and makes the touchdown.
Freeman McNeil on the day, he rushed for 151 yards, so he certainly takes over the rushing lead now in the AFC. New England exploding for 32 points after Tampa Bay had scored the first 2 touchdowns of the game. How about this play, Hank?
Oh, looks like Paul Hornung at his prime.
Craig James to Tony Collins, and the Patriots have got it done, and the final score was 32-14. The Chicago Bears are unbeaten, and they look like the best team in the National Football League. And what about the refrigerator on defense?
Well, I don't care where you put him. At 308 pounds, you can put him any place you want to, and he's going to do a great job. There he is, sacking a quarterback.
They got a linebacker by the name of Otis Wilson, Hank.
Yeah, he played with my young son, Stu, you know, at Louisville, and he brings it back for the touchdown and changes the scoreboard right there.
And look who's the pass receiver here.
Walter Payton makes an easy catch look tough, doesn't he?
Give a little Willie Mays when he yanked it down and stepped on into the end zone. 27-9, the final score. The Bears come up a winner. How about the Detroit Lions? They have beaten the 2 Super Bowl teams on back-to-back Sundays, and today it was Miami's turn without Mark Duper playing for the Dolphins. Now watch here as Eric Hipple finds Leonard Thompson.
It looks like they caught him in man-for-man covers, and they don't do that very well, and they got caught in the blitz, and it was a touchdown.
Well, the Dolphin defense did get one back.
Yeah, they got one right here in this fumble recovery. Bob Brzezinski goes in and makes the touchdown.
And then James Jones, the running back, took control for the Lions, and on the afternoon he rushed for 114 yards. Denver, an easy winner this afternoon, 30-10 over the Kansas City Chiefs. Hank, was another blocked punt story.
Well, they had 2 blocked in this game, and both of them, I think, wound up being touchdowns for the Denver Broncos.
And then Gerald Wilhite scoring one of his 2 touchdowns, and the Broncos, of course, need that win to stay up there in that drive for that AFC West Championship. The Raiders are coming after them, and of course the Raiders play tomorrow night. The Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons, 24-10 the final score. Oh, what an explosive run by Dorsett.
You really have to admire the great coaching job that Tom Landry has done with Dorsett. He never could run that fast before he joined his team.
Gave him those moves too,
yeah,
didn't he?
that's right.
But the best game of the day featured a couple of Hall of Fame units down there in Irving, Texas. Craig Morton, he couldn't play today for the Bob Lilly All-Stars, so Charlie Waters went into quarterback him against the Roger Staubach Stars.
He loves those defensive backs. He threw it right to the defensive guy here for an interception.
And now, Hank, watch the laterals coming up. I don't think they want to keep it. Staubach gives it up. McElhaney is finally flagged over there on the far side. Now, the Staubachs come up a winner, and it looks to me like Roger might be able to play a little bit, Hank.
You think he'd come out of retirement if somebody asked him? In a minute, wouldn't he?
Absolutely. If the price is right, for about $300,000. And so the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
College football's bowl drive is on. Next Saturday, the #1 ranked Iowa Hawkeyes will play a crucial Big Ten match with Keith Byers and 9th ranked Ohio State. In the weeks ahead, you'll see the Buckeyes take on 4th ranked Michigan. An ACC clash between Virginia and Maryland. A contest of independence, Notre Dame and Miami. And the 86th Army-Navy game. All coming up in college football on CBS Sports. This is CBS.
I haven't got the time to go to the track, so OTB is the next best thing.
At OTB, you get a free program. It's all condensed on a small sheet. It tells you the horses, the races, the scratches, the jockeys, the odds.
I can run out here, and in 2 or 3 minutes, I'm online, and they take me in those 2 minutes. There are more tellers than there used to be.
When they do the live calls, right, you hear the horse, and you hear your horse, and you say, come on, come on, come on.
New York City OTB, changing for the better.
OTB is really New York.
CBT's one-day mortgage approval lets you lose only one night of sleep. CBT. When you're ready to demand more from a bank.
TWA has close to 600 flights a day in the U.S. So chances are, wherever you're going, we're going.
As long as there are people who can afford perfection, BMW will continue to pursue it. The BMW 635 CSI.
For a test drive, contact your New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut BMW dealers.
At Meineke Discount Mufflers, you can always count on quality at a price you love.
Installed from $18.93 to $26.95. Visit your local independently owned Meineke shop today.
Well, Major League Baseball, Hank, of course, Game 7 of the World Series tonight, but there's a development regarding the New York Yankees. It has been confirmed that Billy Martin has been ousted as manager of the Yankees. A news conference is being held at this hour, and the new manager of the New York Yankees is Lou Piniella, and he, of course, was the batting coach under Martin this year. Now, there are 3 games in progress around the National Football League. Let's take you to the scoreboard right now. The Giants, of course, lead the Saints. That's the game you're watching, 7-3 there at the half there. One AFC contest in Cincinnati. The Bengals lead the Steelers 17-7. And the San Francisco 49ers are playing their best game of the season. They are shutting out the unbeaten Los Angeles Rams, and it was Roger Craig scooting for his 2nd touchdown on the day. He has 11, and Hank, what kind of dimension does Craig give the 49ers?
Well, I think he gives them everything they need. The only thing that I can't understand, Brent, really, is the fact that he's only averaged 9 carries a game so far this season. Hard to understand why he didn't carry the ball more.
And already in the first half, he's caught 5 passes for 135 yards.
Well, that's the great thing about him is he gives them a double-dip dimension. You know, he runs the ball so well, plus the fact that he catches the ball so well.
You like those guys with the double dip, don't you? Hey, Hank, let's go on out now, down to New Orleans, and here's Pat Summerall. Pat?
The Giants 7, New Orleans 3. We're at the half at the Superdome. The weather's good inside, outside. Again, in the event you might have joined us late, hurricane warnings exist, and Hurricane 1 is expected to hit New Orleans, if it's not already here, a little bit later. John, you go back to the turnovers again. You go back to 2 missed field goals by Jess Atkinson. The Giants lead 7-3. That's fine, but you can't turn it over like that again.
Well, no, you know, as we said just before the half there, it has to be so frustrating for a coach because the Giants have done everything here in this first half that you have to, except put points on the board. The Saints only have 3 first downs in the whole first half, and that was all in the first series. But they got down there, of course, and, you know, the first time they get down there, what happens? And this has just happened too many times. They get down there in the goal line, they fumble the exchange, the Saints come up with the ball. So that's really, you know, a 7-point deal there. And then they get down there again, they miss a field goal.
And then, of course, there's another missed field goal.
And I think that's part of the thing. You know, as a coach, you get very upset when you have to go for the field goal because that means that you didn't get it. Then when you miss the field goal, that really gets to you.
Well, I was talking to Morton Anderson yesterday, the Saints kicker, and he was talking about how great it is to kick indoors. Here's the touchdown. The one touchdown that either team has scored in the first half. The Giants lead at 7-3, still another half to go. But again, you get back to those turnovers, and as the year passes, that's the crucial factor. Another half to go as the Giants lead at 7-3.
When you're 100% pure beef.
The beef goes on.
When you're sear sizzled, lean and juicy.
McDonald's beef goes on.
Your great beef taste goes on and on.
You're all beef, your beef, lean and hot. So your big beef taste just won't stop. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. The beef goes on.
If you're waiting to buy a personal computer, you may have questions about power, expandability, and dollars and cents. For the complete answer, take a close look at IBM. An IBM PC runs thousands of programs, expands easily, and prices are better than ever. So don't wait. Once you take the first step, the rest come easy. IBM personal computers.